Today I want to talk about dreams. Every morning I ask myself and anyone I'm with, did you sleep well? Did you have any good dreams? Dreams are so telling. So many times in my readings the cards will come, sometimes Spirit will come out and say to pay attention to your dreams. At this time that we're in right now, dreams can be very significant. Have you noticed that? Are your dreams changing a little bit? The other day I was having a conversation with my son and this dream came up that I had years ago that stayed with me because it was so profound to what was going on in my life at the time. In our dreams, we get to connect with Spirit. We get to just sort of be free from our physical bodies and just kind of float around. We can go anywhere, do anything. A lot of times our fears might come up to show us maybe what we're afraid of or how we can manage the fear. So sometimes dreams can feel like nightmares that once you wake up, you can look at it as, sort of maybe an indication of, oh, okay, there's a fear there, that now it's in your awareness that you can deal with it, kind of thing, manage it, address it, now that there's an awareness because of the dream that you had. Sometimes dreams are really, really good. And they're about the things that we're wanting. And I believe Spirit sort of showing us that it can happen. Sometimes we can absolutely get answers to our questions. I had a client a bit ago that wanted to know the name of her guardian angel. And she asked, and the reading said, pay attention to your dreams, ask in your dreams. So she asked, and that night got the name of her guardian angel. That can happen, and actually more so now than this connection is stronger than it used to be. So this dream that I had years ago, I wanted to share with you because there's so much that I learned from it, not just regarding my situation in my life at that time, but the very fact that it has stayed with me because the lessons in it were profound to really anyone. But when it came up, it's like, oh, okay, I need to do a video about that. I call this dream the boat. At the time that it happened, I was in a relationship with a person who was extremely negative. He saw the negative in absolutely everything. And I I sort of naturally see the good in everything, just born that way. I just can find the good, just about no matter what. And so I would, as he would complain about something, I would point out what was good about it. And it was getting a bit exhausting. And over a bit of time, I thought, oh, this isn't really fun. And the next thing that happened was that I was out and about on my own and just noticed that now I was kind of seeing the negative of things. I was also seeing the positive. I would turn it around and see the positive, but ironically, initially I was seeing the negative in things, and that was what he did, not me. This is not me kind of thing. So that night I had this dream. I thought, okay, this has got to change. So this night I had this dream, and it started with me on this huge boat, like a cruise ship, beautiful sort of cruise ship boat out in the ocean on a bright sunny day. It was beautiful. Calm seas, it was a beautiful day, I was happy, and at the same time I was alone. It was just me, similar to the day experience that I had when I was awake, where I was alone just sort of seeing things. So I'm on this big boat and it's beautiful, but I start to notice, I just notice, something, this isn't right, or I don't like that, or just sort of judging certain things about it. And as soon as I had the thought of the negative of it, suddenly I'm on a different boat. Dreams do like that, right? Really, just poof. Suddenly I'm on a different boat. This time it's still huge, but it's more like a sailing ship, like a Christopher Columbus kind of sailing ship with all these big white sails. The sun is still out. It's a beautiful day. And I'm on this huge ship still and by myself. And as I'm walking around, again, I'm just sort of noticing what I don't like or what's wrong about it. As soon as I have the thought that's negative, poof, now I'm in a smaller boat. Just like that, it's a smaller boat. It still has a few sails that are pretty big, but the boat part is much smaller. And so initially this time I'm like, okay, okay. This feels a little bit more comfortable given that I'm by myself in the middle of the ocean. Still, as I'm looking around, I thought, this is a lot of boat. I don't need all this boat. Now it's even smaller, and it's like one of those it's like one of those little sunfish kind of sailing boats that just has maybe two big sails that an individual person on a much smaller boat manages the sail and manages the rudder, very, very different from the cruise ship. Right? It's much smaller. So now I'm managing the rudder and I'm managing the sail, and the wind starts picking up and the sail is getting out of hand. And as soon as I have this negative thought that, well, this is annoying, poof, no sail. And now I'm in this tiny boat like a rowboat. I'm like, okay, so I pick up the paddles and I start paddling, and I'm paddling, and it's much more sort of my size, but I'm in the middle of the ocean. So now it's not I have the thought, oh my gosh, this is tedious, this is so tiny, and no boat. Now it's just me in the ocean. And that's when I woke up, because it was terrifying. That's when I woke up. When I woke up, I thought, oh my gosh, it was so real. I could see all the colors, I could hear the water, I could smell the ocean. It was very, very real dream, one of those. And when I woke up, I realized, okay, so many things about that, spirit, we are connected to spirit. Spirit is answering us when we have a thought. I didn't say anything out loud. I had a thought, and spirit responded with what they thought I wanted by expressing a negative of the boat that I was on. Is like, and when I wasn't happy with all the sails, there's fewer sails or no sails, right? So spirit answers us. And while dreams go poof, and we've all experienced that, at this time in history, things can happen that fast. Things can happen very, very fast with spirit responding to our thoughts. So be careful what you think about. Spirit has your back. And also to be mindful of the people that you associate with, especially if you're an empath. Especially if you're an empath and you're absorbing the energy of other people. This gentleman was very negative, and I was starting to become that way as well. So it made me realize that it's really important who we allow in our sphere, especially as an empath, because it can affect the way that you see the world as well. Also, appreciate what you have. If you don't appreciate what you have, you can lose it. There about the end, when I was in that tiny boat, I was definitely wanting something bigger. If the dream had gone on, I might have asked for something bigger. But so appreciate what you have. I kind of had the sense too that if I had asked for something bigger at that point, it's like, well, no, you had that. You didn't want that kind of thing. So, in the fourth, fifth dimension, which is kind of what dreams feel like, which we now have access to in our waking life, things can happen that fast. So watch what you think, be mindful of who you associate with, and how it affects you, and how you see the world. Also ending with, pay attention to your dreams. You can ask questions before you go to bed. You can definitely, keep a dream journal to write down what your dreams are. It can be really helpful. Even later down the road, you can look back. We can learn from our dreams, not just about our fears, but about how we want to be in the world in so many ways. Dreams are so fun. So if you've had a really profound dream, I'd love to hear about it. Share it down below. I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, take really good care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you soon.